Hello, my name is Ryan Markowitz, and welcome to my creative project. I am a teacher at the Kent ISD, which is a vocational high school in Grand Rapids. There's two high schools. There's kind of the average one, and then the one I work at, which is more of the special needs. I teach hospitality and culinary, and I decided that I wanted to improve the technology skills of many of my students. So, just to kind of give you a background, my school recently went through a transition where students would come in and they would take one class for the first 9 weeks and then finish up in my class, which would be considered their major. So they would have a minor and major. We recently got rid of that, but to replace that, we still had to have a career exploration. So basically, what that is students need to understand the different careers that are out there. So for instance, teaching hospitality and culinary, a lot of people think of cooking, but it's important that my students are exposed to all the different types of jobs and maybe hospitals, hotels, even cruise lines. And so what we've done is we've put together some physical and virtual field trips. We brought in some guest speakers and to kind of fill that void. Well, doing that, I decided I wanted to make my projects a little more engaging, a little more fun for them. So I gave each one of my students an option of how they want to do each one of these field trips. So for instance, we went to the hospital to visit, and when we got back, the students could either write a paper about it, they could do a video, which I'm doing right now, or they could make a poster board about it with all the information. But then when we got done, I wanted a way that they could, use it and share it with more than just the class. So through this class, I decided to have my students do a blog. And from what I've learned in here, I decided to go with Kid Blog. It ended up being the best for what I needed. The reason I liked it is because, I know this is hard to believe, but many of my students are very uncomfortable with technology. I have students tell me all the time that computers hate them and that they don't get along. And so it's very important that any kind of technology I use with my students is very simple and easy and something that they can repeat if I'm not right there to show them. I found Kid Blog is really good at that. The other thing I really like about Kid Blog is I have total control over everything they do. So I can set up for them to share with their classmates, they can share with people outside of class, but in no way will they be able to put their blog to the public without me being able to be in control of that. So I really think that that's a good thing, and I like the control, and it also keeps people safe. I also have a lot of access. I can see what everybody's written to each other. So anything, any bullying or any of that kind of stuff is going on, I can see that right away and put a stop to that. So a reason that I really wanted my students to start blogging is when students from special needs come to my class, many of them have not succeeded in their STEM courses. Many of them have struggled. Their math and reading levels are very low. But when they get in my class, because we can be up and moving, they work with their hands, they get to see something and then really do it. They found success that they haven't seen before in school. And what's so cool about that is it seems to translate and really go into some of the other classes and stuff they're working with. So I want them to show off their successes. I want them to show off their new confidence. So I figured, hey, if we put what they've done on a blog, it's really cool because we can connect this blog with their parents, teachers at their home school, and if you're not sure how it works, basically the schools and the districts send their kids half the day to my class and then they bus them back. So they do have a home school they go to. So the teachers can see what they're doing. people in classes, and then the teachers that will be working with them the following year. And to get on another side note, the way my program works is we, in the first year, get them ready to go out on a job so they can be physically employed. The second year, they actually are bused to a job site where they in turn work for the course of the day. It's an unpaid internship, but they can get hired. But they work with the new teachers. There's a new instructional staff that works with them. So another great thing about this blog is they can start to build those relationships with the teachers they work with in the future. What happens with my class is we build this strong relationship because we're together every day. But then the following year, when the students go out, they don't see the instructors as much because they go out right at the beginning. And so that bond isn't always built. So the more they can start to build those relationships early, the better it is. And this blog can really do a good job of that. Also, the other piece of the blog that I really like is when the instructional staff is trying to figure out what job sites would fit each student. They can kind of get on the blog, look at the students, see what kind of work they're doing, get to know the student before they actually meet them, so they maybe can get an idea of what would be a nice fit for them, obviously along with all the other things. So I see a lot of benefits and a lot of good things coming out of this. One thing that I really like too about just a blog in general is it can just build a community, build a relationship. It can build a relationship with classmates. Classmates get to look at other people's projects, and what's cool about that is they can go back and say, you know what, I like what you did. I'd like to do that. I think that's a pretty cool idea, and just grow their ideas in the future. It's really easy in my class to pull this off. We have all the technology you could ever want. We're very blessed on that. Each one of my kids we have a computer for each one of my students. I have a video camera, iPad if I need it. We can do whatever we need to upload, and we have access. And another thing that's really nice is when our kids are brought into our school, they're all assigned school emails, which are really Gmail accounts. So everything that we do already is totally on Google Docs. All the writing in my class is done there. And what's really nice about KidBlog is everything that is done in Google Doc can be right away connected with your Google document and vice versa. It connects very easily. It literally hits one button, you find what you did, and it just puts it right on there. And once again, for my students, this is awesome that it's easy and they feel good about it. Why do I want my students to put some stuff online? A big thing for me is when these students get through, what I like about it is whatever we've done in my class that they find valuable, if it's somewhere they can reach after they leave or access it the following year, they always have access to it. They may go back and say, you know what, I'm glad that I can get this piece of information. Maybe a resume that we put up, maybe a cover letter, something like that, they have access to it. And a lot of times, and I think this goes for most teenagers and probably some adults, is you might work on something in class like a resume or a cover letter. You put it somewhere and you forget and you never have it again. So if it's all in a nice central place that you just can get online, store it up there, and they can get it whenever they want, I think that's a real benefit. It's something that would really help. Also, this can be something that they can show off when they go to an employer. Our job is to get these students hired and get them acclimated to the workforce. So if they can do that and get in the workforce and take what they've done in my class and show through their blog employers, it's just another way to get hired and get a job. I also like to build confidence in my students. Most of my students, like I talked about before, really are nervous about the technology piece, what they do. So the more they can be exposed to it, the more they can say, you know what, if I want to work on a blog in the future, I can. If they want to create a website, I feel like I have some of the basic tools to start to do this on my own. It's not so scary and so overwhelming for me. I see that as a good thing for sure. Lastly, what another real benefit for this blogging piece is a lot of the other teachers really like this idea and have kind of jumped on board with me. They've kind of want to work together and come up with some blogging ideas for their class. They're also using it for the career exploration. They like that it can be connected with their homeschool and the future. We call them WBL when they go out to their following work site with the teachers next year. And just bouncing ideas off of other professionals. They've come up with some really cool ways on how they use their blog and what they could do with it. So it's just been kind of a cool growing experience. And I'm really excited to see how this translates. I just kind of put it in the last couple of weeks, and I know half the year is finished, but it still seems like it's pretty cool how it's working. I'm looking forward to implementing it a lot earlier next year, and I think it's just going to be a great building block and something that's going to benefit my students for many years to come. So thank you for listening, and have a nice day.